Hey everyone, Sergio here with the Rideshare Guy. What do we say on Show Me the Money Club? Work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, which I have been for the past year and a half, you may be working a lot harder than you need to. Let's change that. Download the app, link your account where you can manage your income, track your expenses, as well as your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more money, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download the Solo app today. Begin to work smarter, not harder. Link is in the description. Let's get back to it.
Let's talk to our next one. And that is, should Empower still be allowed to continue operating in New York? So basically what's happening is New York City is seeking a permanent ban on the ride-hailing app Empower. And this was a lawsuit that was filed on Friday in saying that they had violated local laws by failing to apply for a relevant license since it began operating in New York City in 2022. And they will come after you 100%. So Empower's recently gained traction in New York by offering fans fares on its mobile app. It says that they're 20% less than Uber or Lyft. And MAUs in the New York metropolitan area jumped to 155% to 92,000 in January since last May, according to market intelligence from Sensor Tower. So
we have invited, by the way, Joshua Sear, who's the CEO and founder of Empower, multiple times, and to come up on Show Me the Money and talk about, his side of the story, or the company's Empower's side of the story.
I think non-speaking speaks more.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I look, Empower is doing something that is only probably applicable to New York City, because each driver in New York City has to have their own commercial insurance anyway.
Mm-hmm.
In other cities, look, Empower has tried this in Washington, D.C. and a couple other cities where the driver and the rider has no protection. Okay, they didn't offer the P1, P2, P3 commercial insurance that other TNCs like Uber and Lyft do. Okay, in those areas, I don't think Empower should operate, because the risk is immense for the driver and the rider. But in New York City, it fits the bill, and Empower is saying we're an SaaS, like software as a service.
Yeah,
and if you're renting our software.
The state isn't going to look at it that way.
I get 100% it, but Chris, it goes to show, that last paragraph that Natalie Long wrote about, MAUs is monthly active users in the New York metropolitan area jumped 155% to 92,000 in 1 month, right? So the point is, riders
it's in January since May, so it's 6 months.
But riders are sick of paying those fares, because Uber has admitted that the fares have gone up 40-50%. Drivers are sick of not getting paid enough, right? The pie in the middle, or the slice in the middle, has gotten larger from single digits to up to 31% now. This is on Uber's earnings report. You guys can go check this out. Well, Empower was taking care of that. You pay a fee to rent Empower software to drive. You already have commercial insurance in New You're City. If you're going to drive in New York City, you need to have your own insurance. Well, that fit the bill. Now, not having TNC license is something completely different, right? But people were using Empower because it's 20% probably cheaper for the rider and the driver, and the driver keeps everything that the rider pays. I think that's the model. The subscription model is going to be the model at some point, but you also have to have cross the T's and dot all the I's. You can't just go, hey, I have a software here, come rent it, because the liability is like a little bit too much.
Because the state will come after. They're looking at that and saying, you're not operating, you're not paying the money. We want our money, and we're going to get it any way we can. I mean, look at what's going on with some of these states, and what's going on with gambling and that. That's been like kind of the hot topic recently. I mean, it's the same thing. If the state wants something, they're going to do everything that they can to get it. And, they already have everything set up in terms of, you didn't get the proper filings that you needed. You didn't get the proper license that you needed. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to shut your ass down. They did that to Uber and Lyft in New York already. They did that way back when Uber and Lyft first started. They said, hey, you don't have your stuff here, you can't operate. And then it took a little while They went in New York City. They were at least operational because they followed what needed to be done in there in order to operate. And then they finally came to back to the rest of the state, a little while after that. So it's going to take the time, and we'll see what ends up happening. But the state will probably end up shutting them down. And, I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off about that, both drivers and riders, because you hit the nail on the head. They're sick and tired of paying higher prices, and Power comes in and can undercut that because they don't have the same fees that are associated with something like Uber and Lyft, especially when it comes to the commercial insurance side of things. So they can already undercut the pay when it comes to what a passenger will have to pay in order for the ride, and then provide that more to the driver because they're getting 100% of the fare minus the expense that they have to pay when it comes to their monthly fee.
Yeah, and one thing, as you know, I was involved with a company called Y-Ride in California, and TNC license, CPUC license, all the licenses, airport licenses were all taken care of. Even if you get the licenses, and then it was a subscription-based system, cheaper for the rider, more money for the driver. But then competing with these two giants is so difficult, right? It's difficult, and we're doing it without a license. TNC license, I don't think is going to work. And I don't know how expensive it is to acquire a TNC license in New York City, but I think New York City is the perfect place for Empower to show these companies and the riders and the drivers that there is a way that this could be done and save the rider some money and the driver makes more money. But I think they need to play under the same rules as the other two. That's the point. So Mr. Sear, if you're watching this, please respond to my multiple emails, because I pinged you a couple times. We would like to have you on the show and talk about this, because I think, competing with Uber and Lyft is very difficult as it is. And, but in a city like New York, I think it's proven that it works. But then you can't do it. You can't, it's like you can't do it like what they call those pirate cabs. You just can't operate like that. You need equal playing field, let's say.
The what cab?
Pirate cab. They're pirates in Turkey.
Oh, you're talking about the gypsy cabs?
Gypsy cab. We call pirate cabs in Turkey. Like, people in their cars doing like taxi business. But all I'm saying
There's
is
a big problem in New York back what decade ago.
I haven't looked into it, how expensive it is. I'm pretty sure it's pretty expensive, and I don't know how well funded Empower is, but there's something stopping them from getting that license. So
I don't know, but they're going to have to figure it out pretty soon, because the state will come down on them pretty good and say, and they'll be like, you either shut down or you pay your fee, and that's that. And they could come back and say, I don't know if they're going to go back and say, hey, you're going to need to pay extra or something like that when it comes to like retro. But I wouldn't put it past New York to try to do shit like that, because New York City, we already know, is in a massive, they're hemorrhaging money. So who knows what will end up happening, trying to get whatever type of money they can.
About somebody said about Hum Rideshare. I heard a lot about Hum Rideshare, right? I don't know much about it. I think they're in Arizona and a couple other states. I'll try to get in touch with them and get somebody on to explain their side of the story. But again, it's very difficult to compete with Uber and Lyft, folks.
The thing that's cool about Hum is the fact that you can do the ride. You can do like ride hails that are actual hails. So it's like, hey, and then do it right through the app.
Yeah, we'll have to, I'll get somebody on. I'll get a hold of somebody at Hum, and if they want to come on, they can come on and talk about it. It's difficult. That's all I'm saying. I know I was involved very closely with competing Uber and Lyft, and unless you have a couple of billion sitting at the bank, it's really difficult.
Yep. All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club, with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.